I was 26 or 25, I think, and I was working on a radio show that fed college radio stations, and I was mostly working on the Vietnam War and Asian stuff, and then Wounded Knee happened, and I was trying to get information about it so I could cover it, and after a short time it became harder and harder. So my colleague and I, Barbara Lou Schaefer, decided, well, let's just go out there. So we got in my little red Volkswagen and we drove out to Pine Ridge, and we went into the BIA and we showed our press credentials and they gave us press passes, and then we went into Wounded Knee, and a few days after we were there, the government ordered all the press to leave. So ABC, CBS, NBC, they all picked up they had big vans and they would cook steaks and drink wine in them, and they all picked up and left. And so Lou and I said, well, if they're leaving, we have to stay because we don't know what's going to happen. If there's going to be violence, we have to be here to witness it. So we ended up staying till the end of the occupation, and then we stayed a little bit longer for the negotiations between some of the chiefs and the government. And I learned a lot about community, and I learned a lot about standing up for something you believe, and it was a really remarkable group of people. And I have to say, I also agree, it was a lot, the leaders were men, but a lot of the people behind the whole event were women. So then we had all these tapes of interviews and meetings and everything, and Akwesasne Notes, if you know, they used to be up in the Mohawk Reservation, they asked us to come and do a book. Or so we went up there and lived on a little wood farmhouse for about 12 months and put this book together.
Voices from Wounded Knee. I grew up with this book. I think we had a third edition, and it was by the time I was a teenager, it was already falling apart. The cover was torn, had coffee stains all over it. It felt ancient. Everything was black and white back then. We have the evidence. And Standing Rock happened. And I was out there off and on for 5.5 months. There's some moments of just absolute sublime beauty and presence. You can smell, when you read the book, you can smell gunpowder. You can smell the tobacco. You can smell the coffee. You can smell the soap from the hand washing of clothes. And there's part of camp life that's just universal. And there's part of our struggle that's universal. And one of the things that was so beautiful and profound to me is seeing the same faces showing up throughout history, throughout time. And our struggle is intergenerational, truly. And being part of the reprinting of this book, we've raised money, and just independently, mostly from the people of Wickeldock who have generously taken on this project as a contribution to this anniversary and to all of these events that are going on. So this is truly a labor of love from the people who created the book, who generously let us bring this book back into the world.